The housing market is a critical component of the overall economy, and signs are starting to show that it's slowing down. This could be a healthy thing, or it could cascade to more problems. I've got that and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, truth be told, about a year ago, my wife and I were looking around and thinking, well, we like our house, but there's some lots nearby that maybe we could build. And we started looking and inquiring about, and the prices, I'm just going to say, for just land, we knew the building costs were going to go up. Everyone knew lumber costs were high, and supply chain things were on back order. And people were busy, especially builders. And so thought, well, we know it's a bad time to build, but maybe we can buy and then build later, depending on what happens with prices. But just the price of dirt alone was so outrageous that after lots of talks with the developer, we said, if this price can't come down a little bit, we're not interested. And of course, the builder said, well, that's okay. You can go away, because if you're not going to proceed, I got a line here of people that are willing to pay these prices, because that's just what the market is. No surprise. Last week, that builder reached out to me and said, we've brought prices down. We'd love you to reconsider. We certainly would love to have you in the neighborhood. And then I didn't even respond to the email. Within a couple of hours, a realtor, who there was never a realtor associated with the development, calls me and says, I understand you're interested in this. Let's find a way to make it happen. Wow, that is a stark contrast to the FOMO, the bidding wars, the outrageous frenzy around houses and building and all of this stuff that was just present recently. I mean, it feels like we're still in it in some ways. Bidding wars, pushing values, paying is far above what a house could appraise for, or what they were listed at. So is the housing market slowing down? And if so, is this just a good cleansing, or bringing things back down to earth, making it more manageable, or could this be something more? Well, the housing market gets so much attention in the economy because of all the tag-along purchases. Number one, it's one of the largest expenses that you're going to face. It's one of your biggest financial goals. And for many individuals in the middle class, this is their largest asset, okay? But the other thing is, when you move or buy a house, you typically are going to buy some paint. You typically are going to buy some furniture. You're going to buy a lamp. Like, that's the thing. I call this the 6-month fog. When you buy a house, there is a 6-month fog where you realize, well, I chose to buy a house. I'm now realizing that choice made me choose to buy a whole bunch of other things as well. All of a sudden, that old furniture that you thought looked just fine in the old place looks terrible in the new place. Or the lawnmower doesn't work, or you need a different lawnmower. Or when we bought our house that we're living in right now, within just a couple of months, we knew the deck needed to be replaced, but our 3-year-old daughter was walking on the deck and put her foot through one of the boards. Well, okay, guess I got to buy a deck, or something like that. So there's this 6-month fog that happens when you buy a house. And guess what? All of those little micro transactions, those micro decisions, all add up. When you multiply that by the amount of houses that are bought and sold, you can see how important this is in the overall economy. So with the market heating up the way that it did over the past couple of years, it's very important. It's a very important gauge to the economy if it's actually slowing down. Well, there's some renewed signs. There's some signs that things are slowing down. And first, take a look at this. I mean, the consumer is starting to feel pinched. I don't need to tell you that, because you're a consumer. I'm feeling pinched. You're feeling pinched too. Gas prices are double what they were to start the year, and mortgage rates are nearly double as well. Take a look at the average house in January of 2021 and the average house today, along with interest rates in June, okay? The average new home price in the U.S. back to January 2021 was $400,000 at a 30-year mortgage rate of 2.65%, without property taxes and insurance. So without escrow, that's a $1,300 a month payment, okay, after a 20% down payment. Now 30-year interest rate back up. They had dropped a little bit. They're now back up 5.25% on a average new home price of $570,000. Guys, that is so much money. You're now seeing a $2,500 a month payment. That's nearly double. That is nearly double. Yes, we've talked about this a lot. And guys, that's not on top of property taxes, but those have stayed the same, right? No, those have increased like crazy. But that's also, that doesn't include homeowners insurance, and that stayed the same too, right? No, that has increased significantly as well. And in some areas like Florida, it is nearly doubling, okay? So housing prices have gone up significantly in addition to just the price of the home, the overall payment and all of that. This is going to end up causing some sort of pinch in consumers and causing the housing market to stabilize or go back down. Now, multiple reports have come out recently from realtors and lenders, banks saying, all right, looks like the housing market is starting to stabilize. New homes, really nice homes that are well done and maybe not overly priced, those are still moving and seem to be moving fairly quickly depending on the area. Bidding wars possibly, but not this bidding war frenzy if you take a look at these articles and these experts. However, the houses that aren't perfect or that need a little bit of TLC, they're staying on the market a little bit longer. So inventories are growing out there in the marketplace, okay? That could be a healthy sign, but it also could signal the housing market is slowing down. In addition to that, home builder and home buyer sentiment has plummeted significantly, and that's not new. That's been happening for the past few months as prices have gone up and up and up, but just 17% of people, based on a Fannie Mae poll in May of 2022, said it was a good time to buy a house. That's the lowest level ever. Just 17%. Let me say that differently and possibly more helpful. 83% of people out there said it's not a good time to buy. It's not a good time to buy. So if the housing market is so vital to the overall economy, prices have gone up through the roof, and now we're starting to see things, inventory, houses are sitting a little bit longer, the really nice houses, updated houses are not moving as quickly, and there's not as much bidding war, and 83% of people out there say it's not a good time. Guys, we could officially be seeing the housing market not just stabilize, but come back down. And the final indicator that the housing market has gone from overheated to possibly in trouble, mortgage applications fall to a 22-year low. That's right. And you might see through this and say, well, wait a second, mortgage applications, that includes refinances, and no one's refinancing right now. And you'd be right, 75% decline in refinances. That should be 100% decline. I don't know who's refinancing right now. Maybe if you're getting divorced or something like that and you're forced to, but even if you're forced to, wow, that's awful. But even for purchases, there's a decline of 21% in mortgage applications. Said differently, 21% fewer homes are being sold at the moment. And I know there's a lot of people still buying for cash, taking a look and saying, well, inflation's up there, and maybe I can use some cash that I've built up or from a sale of a business to buy a property, and they're just paying cash without a mortgage. That would make even more sense as interest rates are really high. But mortgage applications, another sign that the housing market is dropping and is weakening. So what should you do about this? Well, number one, if you're planning on buying or selling or building, work with your certified financial planner. This is, I already said, one of the biggest financial choices that you're going to make in your life. Make sure that it's consistent with the rest of your financial life. The reality is interest rates are higher. That's too bad, but if you can still afford it, fantastic. Hey, too bad. Housing prices are a lot higher. If you can afford it, fantastic, okay? So work with your certified financial planner. Make sure that transition, that sale, that purchase all fits within your financial life. And second, and part of that is make sure you're not overextending yourself with your housing purchase, with your housing decision. Even in retirement, your largest expense is going to be housing. It will. So you've got to be very careful about the decision that you make. Houses are extremely emotional, and I get it. It's where you have community. It's where you entertain. It dictates your schools, in many ways, your friends, and so it's extremely important. However, make sure you don't get overextended, and all of a sudden this makes you house poor, right? Where all of your resources need to go towards this house and you can't do the other things that are important to you in life or maybe your financial goals. So work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.